Hey everybody, how's it going? Pedro here once again with a tutorial. Today I thought about making full body tracking tutorial for Oculus and HTC trackers. I got my Vive in July and I've been playing with it since, but because I had a little problem with the right controller, also the left controller, I had to return it, and I'm gonna be using my Oculus again. So obviously I'm gonna set up my full body to work with Oculus, and then I realized there is very little information about how to do HTC trackers full body with the Oculus Rift. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are not even aware that this is a thing and this is even possible. So I decided, why not make a video tutorial running you through step by step and what to do and how to do it, and hopefully to the best of my abilities you will be able to also set your setup up and make it run, because it is possible. It works not 100%, but it does. It's pretty cool. So yeah, let's do it. So to begin with, obviously, what you will need besides your Oculus is 3 trackers. VR chat, the way VR chat works is you can work with only one tracker, as in only your waist will track. You cannot do 2 trackers and track your feet. This is not how VR chat works. Or you have one tracker for the waist, or you have all 3 trackers for a full body tracking. So or you go with one or you go with 3, and obviously you will probably, if you're gonna buy lighthouses and trackers, you're probably gonna go for 3 trackers. So just letting you know that this is possible. After you got your 3 trackers, what you will want to do is get yourself a pair of lighthouses. So because of the launch of the Valve Index, lighthouses been going down in prices a lot recently, because a lot of people have been buying the 2.0 lighthouses. So right now is a really good time to buy 1.0 lighthouses, the old HTC lighthouses, because they're around $100 or whatever. That's the price I got mine for, including ceiling mount and the power supply. Everything was included on the cost, and it was very cheap actually for $100. All 3 of those items included for each lighthouse. So yeah, that was pretty good. Um, what you can do, hopefully I can show it to you working. You can get away with only one lighthouse. Why? You don't necessarily need both lighthouses. That was the information that I didn't have on the beginning, but later on with a couple of friends I found out that no, you don't need both lighthouses, and I tested it for myself and it does work. Hopefully I will show in the video later on. You can get away with only one lighthouse. Of course, the tracking is not going to be 360, because you're only going to have one corner of the room tracking, and that's obviously not optimal. But if you're going for a really budget setup, maybe you can get away with only one lighthouses, but of course 2 lighthouses would be preferred to have a 360 tracking space. But yeah, let's start with it. After you get your trackers, what you want to do is just go to where your SteamVR is installed. Me and a lot of people will install on a bigger hard drive. We install all our Steam games in a separate hard drive, but for some reason SteamVR didn't let me choose in what hard drive it let me install. Maybe for you it does. For me it kind of didn't. It's on C. So all you have to do is just go on C, just go on 86 Steam, and after you go, the path is right here: Steam, Steam Apps, Common, SteamVR, Resources, Settings, and then you're gonna look for a file that is called default.vir settings. You will need, this is the path: local disk 86 Steam, Steam Apps, Common, SteamVR, Resources, and Settings. Inside Settings, this right here, you will have to open it with a Notepad++ or any notepad, any file editing app. You just open it, and what you're gonna look inside it, just hit Ctrl F. You're gonna open the Find window, and in here you're gonna look for require HMD. This is so SteamVR doesn't require the HTC headset in order for the trackers to work, because the way this is set up right now, SteamVR will require the HTC headset in order for the trackers to work, and this is not what we want. We don't have the HTC headset, we only want the trackers, so we're going to turn this true to a false. And something else we want to look for is active multiple drivers. What this is going to do is right down here. No, it isn't. So you just go Control F, look for it, find next, and here it is. So activate multiple drivers. What this is doing essentially is it is saying that we don't want HTC and Oculus working on the same space, which is not our case. We do want it, so we're going to set it to true. Essentially what we're doing over here is just making so Oculus and HTC play spaces can coexist at the same time, which is what we want to do. After you change those two, you want to save it. You make sure that you save it. Then you can safely close it. And what you want to do now is just start SteamVR. Yeah, hopefully you already set up your lighthouses and everything. Let's just go to SteamVR and let's see what's going on in there.
Okay, so now that we are inside of SteamVR, so what do you want to do is just take your HTC tracker and turn it on. You get your HTC tracker and turn it on. You hold it on your hand and you realize something, that the light on the HTC tracker is green. It pops up on SteamVR, but you don't see it. Well, there's a very good reason why you don't see it. Because it's down there. So, just so you have some context, here is the tracker. The tracker is literally like right on my hand. Literally on my hand right now. So literally, that is the headset down there. Well, this is what I meant. I don't know if I completely mentioned it on the beginning of the video, but Oculus Play Space and HTC Play Space, they are completely different. So front and back is actually that way, as you can see. I'm just waving it front and back. So front and back, left and right. Wait, left and right. They're completely different for HTC Vive, for Oculus. So this is what happens when you merge two play spaces, the HTC play space and the Oculus play space. Obviously, your headset one is going to prevail, so this is why our front is actually our front. But the HTC play space is kind of janky. This is not what we want. So we're going to go back to the desktop and I'm going to show you a very cool program to fix this issue very quick.
Alright, so after you go to your desktop, what you want to do is just go to this website over here on GitHub. It is for OpenVR Space Calibrator. So what Space Calibrator is going to do is it's going to merge both play spaces, the HTC and the Oculus one, into one play space so we can actually use the tracker. It makes everything very simple. In the past, we had to input numbers manually, which was a gigantic pain in the ass, but finally this dude over here, he created this little app, which makes everything very handy, very simple, and quick. Hopefully I remember to leave the link on the description. If I don't, here's the link, or just look for OpenVR Space Calibrator. Yeah, I haven't changed it in years, so it should be still the same. After you go in here, what you want to do is just go to releases and grab the latest. It's been the version 8 for a while now. As a matter of fact, I still have the same version on my computer. And I cannot remember if you have to install. Judging by the uninstaller over here, I guess you do. After you do install, though, this is what you're gonna have on the little folder that you choose to install. You want to run this one over here. By the way, this is a common error that I've heard from a couple people also, and I did it myself. This is how I know. If you try to run Space Calibrator with SteamVR on safe mode, it will not work. So you cannot have the SteamVR on safe mode. Otherwise, the application is not gonna run. So after you install it, this is what you do. You open it. This is the window it's going to open. And you're going to see everything right here. Your headset, left controller, and right controller. I had to start my SteamVR because it was on safe mode. So let me turn on my tracker again. But after you turn on one of the trackers, and I do recommend only turning a single tracker for the calibration, it's going to be much easier for you. This is what you're going to see: space, Oculus, and target space, lighthouse. This is what you're going to have. You're going to see the Vive tracker right here. And this is what you're going to use to calibrate it. So after you have the program open, let's just go back inside to the SteamVR.
All right, so now inside SteamVR, what we want to do is just let me see, restart. I mean, turn the one of the HTC trackers on again, and it is gonna uncenter me. It's gonna screw everything up, but there it is. For some reason now it's below me. The lighthouses you can see there below us and over there, that's something you cannot fix, but it really doesn't matter for our case. What we really want to do is just synchronize the tracker. So I'm not really sure if this is something recent on this update, but for me, for some reason, it's showing it up over here, Space Calibrator, on the SteamVR dashboard. For you, it doesn't. You will have to or open the Oculus dashboard and do it through the Oculus desktop view, or you will have to do it manually on the computer, whatever is easy for you. But here are the steps. So you want to go for on the Space Calibrator, and you want to make sure that you choose whatever, well, controller you want to use for the calibration. You will need to use one of the Oculus controllers for the calibration and one of the Vive trackers. It doesn't really tell which is which. It only gives you a number. That is why I said earlier you'll only want to have one tracker to calibrate, because it's going to make it very easy for you. You will not need to calibrate all three trackers. You only need one, and it's going to calibrate all three of them for you. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose the right controller, and then I'm gonna choose the tracker that's on, obviously. So what you want to do is just hold it's not this one, it's this one. You want to hold the HTC tracker with the controller, but what happened is you will realize it very early on that the HTC tracker and the Oculus controller really don't like each other. I'm gonna try to post a picture so you guys can see how I do my calibration. It's kind of a little bit tricky because you don't want to let the controller be really close to the HTC tracker, or else it's completely gonna lose itself because of tracking incompatibilities. I'm not really sure how to say it, but the thing is, the infrared lights from the Oculus controller overshines the ones from the HTC trackers. So I'm going to show it to you what I meant to it. So let's just calibrate right now. Hopefully you put a picture on the screen how I hold my controller. How you do yours, it doesn't matter. What matters is you want to have them close. You want to move them a lot, and you want to make sure they don't interfere with each other and they don't move throughout the calibration. So they'll just hold both with one hand. So what you want to do is just click calibration, and when you click calibration, what you want to do is just move it around and turn it around. What it's going to do is going to copy the movements from the Oculus Play Space and paste it to the HTC trackers so they match each other. So you click start calibration, and you want to start doing what I do is just a infinite loop. It helps a lot with calibration. Just wait it to be done. It's copying the rotation now, and boom, there it is. As soon as it's done, finish calibration, profile saved, and now you can finally see where the HTC tracker is in my hand. This is how I'm holding it right now. I'm basically holding the controller with my fingers, and I'm holding the tracker with the other two fingers, the pinky and the ringy finger. I'm gonna hopefully put a picture so you guys can see. But this is how you want to do. So after, let me show you once more with the tracker in my hand now. What do you want to do after you start, after you click start calibration, is just swing your controller and tracker around so the program can do its magic and start tracking where the HTC tracker is and where the controller is. And that is going to calibrate it for you so both can coexist on the same play space and we can make some use out of the trackers. So after you do that, it's safe to close the program. Not yet though. We need to turn on the trackers. So you want to go to all trackers now. They should be below me. You should see them turning it on. Since now they're all in the same play space except my my left foot, because my left foot hate me for some reason. It screwed up after one of the firmware updates. I cannot fix it for some reason. But yeah, I have to connect it on the charger and then turn it on. But there it is in my hand now. You can see it. They all work. Here they are now. Also, I think it's probably a good time to show you what I meant by the Oculus overshining the HTC trackers. What I'm using right now is the 2.0 lighthouses, because I only returned the index and the controllers, not the lighthouses. So maybe that will help a lot. But if you're using the if you're only using the 1.0 lighthouses, which are the HTC lighthouses, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you. So right now they're standing very close, but if I put the controller very close to the tracker, sometimes you can, yeah, you see what I'm talking about? The infrared lights from the Oculus controller overshine the trackers. Wow, I'm very, very impressed. My 2.0 lighthouses, one is on that corner and the other one is on that corner. I'm trying my best, but this is what usually happens. When you put it nearby, just on its side or whatever, the tracker, wow, I'm really impressed with the 2.0 lighthouses. I guess this is the advantage of the 2.0 lighthouses. But I was having problems with the 1.0 lighthouses. Is whenever you put an Oculus controller close to the tracker would simply disappear and it would just like fly away off the screen, and you would need to like pull them apart, shake the tracker a little bit so the lighthouses know where it is again, and then it would come back on. But I'm happy to see that it's kind of not happening with the 2.0 lighthouses. So I guess that's a little bit advantage of the 2.0 lighthouses, not even interference with the Oculus anymore. But yeah, this is something that you could, I'm just warning you, this is something that could happen on your case if you have the 1.0 lighthouses. But now that you have all three trackers and you have the Oculus, you change the file, that is basically it. I think it's safe to close that the space calibrator right now. I'm gonna just get inside VRChat, since this is probably what everybody's going to use this for. Maybe devs are gonna use it for Unity. Maybe, I don't know. I know there's a couple of other games that works with full body. Alright guys, so I had to cut back a little bit. I had a little problem over there that I just had to fix real quick, but now we're inside VRChat, and as you should be seeing, it's working. Full body works. If you never had full body before, this is how it goes. When you choose a different avatar, you're gonna see the little white balls. So you're gonna see both of your feet, and you're gonna see your hip tracker. All you gotta do is just line, if the avatar legs are too tall, it's gonna line up more with your knee than anything else. And then you just line it up with your, actually, I think there's a little something that shows it on the mirror. If I'm not mistaken, it should be, no, wait, where are the options? In here, right? Yeah, there you go. Where's high def mirror? I think that's the one that shows the balls, right? Yeah, that's the one. So what do you want to do when you pop in VRChat? You're gonna realize that your avatar is gonna be T-posing. Why? Because VRChat recognized that you have trackers on. So this is what it's going to do. It's gonna T-pose your avatar for you. All you gotta do really is just line your white balls with your feet. You want the white balls from your feet as close to your feet, like where they match in real life as possible. This is how you're gonna get a good tracking experience. You can try and look a little tutorials online on how to shorten your legs so you have a more full body friendly avatar. So you just line your little white balls with your feet, and you just line the hip one where the hip tracker is. It really is on my back right now, so this is where it is. This is where you want to be on the avatar, and you just do a little, oh, I'm a little bit wrong, and boom. Great. Now you have full body. Now everything works. You can move your legs. You can move your hips. You can lay down because you're not using the Kinect anymore, so you can finally lay down. You can do all sorts of things and whatnot, and it works wonders. And because I'm using two lighthouses, it works with 360 if I turn, well, except the Oculus controllers, but you got the idea. The trackers are gonna track if you have a extender. If you have a big enough cable, you can walk around no problems. I don't know where is my stuff. My chair should be in here somewhere. Oh my god. But yep. Okay, where's the center of my play space? It should be in here. So this is how it works. Hopefully it was helpful. I know that I explain a lot. I have this thing where when I want to explain stuff to people, I kind of over explain it because I don't want to miss any details that maybe were crucial to, the installation and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure that everybody had like know what is going on, what is doing what, every step and possibilities, what could happen. I try to show the little interference that could happen with the controller and everything, but hopefully I didn't bore everybody to death. Hopefully it was helpful. Once again, sorry for my broken English. I know it is broken. I know it happens every time, but bear with me a little. And yeah, hopefully you understood everything. If you have any questions that are not dumb, I saw a lot of people asking dumb questions on my last video about the VR chat lag. People were like, "Oh, it's not working for me." And people were like, "Oh yeah, I did it, but it still lags out." Well, dude, I cannot really do anything if you're trying to run it on a potato. Like, I'm sorry. So try to use your brain a little. It should work. Everything should be pretty simple and straightforward. The more you do it, the more you're gonna know how to fix broken stuff, and it's going to work. Hopefully it helped you guys a lot. Hopefully you guys get your trackers. It works. It's cool. And oh, and also I completely forgot to mention this is not a Oculus exclusive only. You can do it for the Rift S, you can do it for the Quest. I'm not sure about the Quest, but I heard you can do it for the Rift S, and you can definitely do it with Windows Mixed Reality. I do have friends who have Windows Mixed Reality, and they do have HTC trackers. It does work. And that was basically it. I hope you guys found this video useful. And I will cut to a short video of me using one lighthouse instead of two, just to show you that it kind of works. So hopefully you liked it. Share it with your friends if you know they want to have trackers. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right. So back inside the SteamVR, you can see it still works. It's still the same session. I didn't do anything. I just turned off the backlight house. And as you can probably already tell, I'm having a couple of problems. Oh, my hip tracker, which is right here, is completely, well, it's not dead, but the lighthouse cannot see it. So this is the little advantage of only having one lighthouse. My lighthouse right now is over here. As you can see, my Oculus sensor is over here. The lighthouse will be somewhere that way, and that is why it can only see my feet tracker, because my hip tracker is behind my body. The moment the lighthouses see the tracker, it should appear again. So this is something that you would have in mind. For example, if you want to play VR chat with only one lighthouse, what you would have to do is just put it in front of you, put it literally in front of you or on your side, but it wouldn't need to be visible to the lighthouse, because obviously otherwise it would not work. And that is the little problem that I was saying, that it would not be able to do a 360 play space, because the moment the tracker gets out of view, it just drifts away and disappears. But once it comes back, it should work. So maybe it is, I know it is a little bit ridiculous trying to say it. You are trying to do it a little on the cheap, but maybe you are willing to spend $300 on the tracker, but not so much $200 on the 1.0 lighthouses. You can only buy one lighthouse. Well, you can buy the other one later. I do recommend it though. It makes it much enjoyable, even though you still have the cord, you still have the limited tracking for the Oculus. I don't know, man. It's still pretty cool. It's much better than Kinect, like miles away. I can tell you. I used to use the Kinect for a good, what, 4 or 5 months or so, or maybe even a year. My friends could probably say. but I've been using the Kinect myself for a good while, and I can tell you it is an unbelievable godly upgrade. If you were thinking about it, you did not know it was possible, you did not know how to do it, now you do. It's pretty cool. You can do it with only one lighthouse, but I do recommend using both though. And that's it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I think I probably could say goodbye now.